Welcome to Love Life Solutions. Today we're going to be talking about 10 mistakes that some married women make. It is important to note that every relationship is different, and what may be considered a mistake in one relationship may not be in another. As we all know, communication is key in every relationship, and in some cases, communication is not that strong. Some people may assume that the other party, which is the husband, knows what this lady is going through. Now, it is not very good. It's not a good thing to assume that your partner knows what you are thinking and what you are feeling. It is very important, therefore, to communicate with him on a regular basis, to tell him what you're going through, what you're feeling, what your goals are, and what you intend to do, so that way your relationship can grow. Now, if you do not communicate very well and clarify and describe and elaborate on how you're feeling, the other party unfortunately will not be able to understand what you're going through. So effective communication is key to a good relationship. Remember that. Everybody deserves some alone time. Men, especially, after, say, a week of hard work, sometimes they want to go out and enjoy the time with their fellow friends, or maybe they want to stay at home and play some video games and enjoy the rest of the day. Every man needs some alone time. They just need to be by themselves and enjoy their time. Sometimes they need to just read or have a drink. So give your men some time to be alone, as you also deserve to have the same quality time for yourself by yourself. So it is very important that we give our partners their alone time so that they can enjoy doing what they enjoy doing. Maybe it may be art, it can be music, it can be just a relaxation. It is very important that a lady can give her man some alone time. This is the second important point in a relationship. In every marriage, we find two people that are coming from two different backgrounds coming together and being united as one husband and wife. And you see, this also means that these two different worlds trying to come together will have some problems somewhere here and there. So unfortunately, some married women, they focus on the mistakes of the husband all the time and not look at his strengths. And so for the man feels belittled, he feels small every time, and he loses his confidence. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that some of the women, wives, make in some relationship, and it doesn't really end well. It is important to help each other, as we are all not perfect. There is no relationship that is perfect, and so it is our responsibility to help one another grow by not focusing on the mistakes, but helping each other to come out of the mistake rather than just being on someone's neck all the time. So it is very important to help your partner to grow, to look at the things that he's doing very well and lift each other up, because you also have your flaws and he does have his flaws. You must work together and build each other. Everybody has got their own needs and wants, men and women. But in this case, talking about husbands, it is very important that a wife considers what her husband wants and what a husband also needs. Maybe it may be some certain toys. Maybe he wants to get an Xbox, and so you can think about it and talk about it and see if the finances allow. Or it could be just he just wants to go out and buy himself a cool drink. And it is very important that we consider the bigger things and the smaller things that the husband may need in his life. So a woman that does not consider what her husband wants and needs and is always looking towards herself and doing things for herself and thinking the other party is not that important is not a very good thing to do in any relationship, because when one suffers, then the whole family, the whole relationship falls down. So a woman that does not consider her husband in a relationship, her husband's needs and wants, will lead to a really bad relationship and not a very fruitful one, unfortunately. So yeah, this is the other point that we must always remember, that it is very important to always consider the wants and the needs of the husband, the man in the relationship. In some relationships, you may find that there's a lot of resentment and a lot of grudges that are kept by the wife for a long time, and this is not very good in growing any relationship. So when you resent your husband of the things that he has done long time ago and not forgiving him, is one of the things that can actually destroy your relationship. You need to find forgiveness. Talk to the person about what they have done and help them grow if they are struggling growing out of this thing. We all know that emotional and physical intimacy is very important to men, and when that is being withheld from them, they suffer a lot. And so it is important to note that we're not going to be happy in these relationships all the time. It's not all a bed of roses all the time. There's going to be fights and there's going to be conflicts, and it is not in the best interest of a couple to withhold intimacy from each other. Another mistake that a wife can make is to compare her husband to the other guy next door, to the other guy at church, to the other guy at work. That's one big mistake that some women make, comparing their men to other men. You cannot compare them because they are not the same. They're never going to be the same. When men are compared to other men, they feel belittled again, and they lose their confidence, and that is not good. What we should be doing is we should be working towards our strengths and also working towards our weaknesses as well, instead of spending time comparing the husband to the other man, because everybody is gifted differently, everybody grew up differently, everyone is unique in their own sense. If you dig down towards that person who you're comparing your husband to, you also find that they've got also flaws, things that you'll be very surprised to find out. And so it's not a good thing, and because everybody is different, you should stop and you should never compare your man to another man. Not making your partner your highest priority is one of the mistakes that some women make. The person you get married to is one of the most important people that you ever involve yourself with. So a woman may not express her feelings, her emotions, her goals and needs clearly to her partner, and this may actually lead to a destruction of a very good relationship. If she continues to do that, she must be able to clarify and talk to the man. I've always heard some people say that, if he loves me, he knows. No, that is not true. If you love him, talk to him and then tell him how you feel. Don't just bottle everything up in your heart and expect that he's gonna understand, he's going to change. Talk to the person. Don't hold anything inside, because people, they don't always know what you are going through. So as a woman, talk to the man on a regular basis and talk to him about the things that you're concerned about, the things that maybe you want to do, or the things that are bothering you. Talk to him. Don't be scared. Talk to him, because men don't always know what a woman is going through, and it is through that effective communication, being able to describe in detail. Men like to hear detail of what you're talking about. Otherwise, if it's just shallow, they don't take it seriously and nothing changes. So it is very important that when you talk to a man in a way that he can understand. Men like details. Another mistake that some women make is a lack of gratitude. It is very important, especially when you know that your man has been working so hard to provide the life that you have today, and you never say thank you. A thank you means a lot to a lot of men, and when that doesn't happen, and instead becoming rude and loud, that is something that's a big mistake that a lot of women may not even realize it when they're making it. Men don't want a lot of things. They just want to have that peace, that love and intimacy. Those are the three biggest things that men really want. And a thank you is one of those best things. It actually goes a very long way. So gratitude, always remember that. Gratitude goes a long way. Neglecting physical and emotional intimacy is one of the mistakes that some of the women make in their relationship towards their men. It is very important to note that men also want to communicate and connect with you. So it is very important that a lady makes the time to be with her man. Make time, take him out on a date, shock him, surprise him. And men like that. Men like that. Of course, men always want to look after their ladies, but it is also very nice when a lady does something spontaneous, recognizes and appreciates a man and makes time for him. Men feel special when they do that. But when they don't do that, unfortunately, again, it's one of those mistakes that some women make by not making time for their man. One of the biggest mistakes in the relationships is when there is this thing where a lady does not tell the full truth and keeps back some of the information, some truths, maybe even secrets. This is a big mistake, a huge mistake that a lot of women make. This leads to lack of trust, lack of confidence. The men won't have confidence in you, he won't trust you, and even the intimacy also suffers. And this is one huge mistake that some women make. The last thing I'm going to be sharing with you is one of those things that actually get into most relationships, and this is when the lady doesn't keep things exciting, getting into this habit, this routine of doing the same thing over and over again. This is a mistake that a lot of ladies make. Some ladies, when they just keep in a routine and they don't look as good as they used to before, and they just lay back, and this is one big mistake. It is very important that you always make the time to keep things exciting, keep things spontaneous, in a relationship. Now, I've shared with you 10 things, 10 important things, the mistakes that some ladies make. I hope that you're not making those mistakes. If you are, this is an opportunity for you to make things right with your man. If you've enjoyed our work, consider subscribing and liking. And remember, I'm going to see you again on the rebound. Cheers.